I'm Alex.
I'm Connie.
Welcome back to the Faria Files. Today we're going to be talking about paranormal stuff, more specifically ghosts, death, afterlife, past lives, all that fun stuff. I think the first question I want to ask, though, is what do you think happens when we die? Pretty loaded question.
So, personally, I don't think that you die and just get buried in the ground like that's the end of things. I think that everybody has a spirit. I believe that your spirit continues on. I believe that,
Continues on as in?
like reincarnation, I don't know if it happens right away. I think that, like, have you ever heard of the karmic cycle?
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
All right. So the idea that in this life, like, I don't know what my purpose is, but you're trying to be a better person, and then in the next life you're trying to be a slightly better person, and then you're just trying to
Until what?
I don't know, reach a higher plane. I don't know what the end is. Okay. So my point is that you continue on. Your spirit continues on.
Okay, so do you...
Like, our spirits were probably connected. I know they were. I know that the spirits of the people that are in my family now were connected probably in a different way in a past life.
Okay, so do you believe that for every person you interact with, you interacted with them in a past life?
No, I think
just your family,
like people who are close to me. It
Okay.
could be like whoever you feel super connected to in this life.
Okay.
So for you, like your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, possibly grandparents,
Sure.
possibly aunts or uncles or
Okay.
cousins, best friends.
Yeah. Okay, so are you religious? Do you believe in a god?
I believe in a higher power.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know. You call the higher power what you want.
Sure.
Right? I don't care if you call it God or Allah or something else.
Sure.
But I think there's definitely a higher power that maybe presents itself to different people in a different way.
Okay. No, I understand that, but you think after we die there's some karmic cycle of reincarnation, but you also said you don't think it necessarily happens right away. So then are you implying you believe in like a purgatory type deal or like...
Yeah, I don't know if it's purgatory with the idea like a Catholic religion or some
Yeah.
other religions that you have to...
You're stuck in limbo?
Yeah, no, I don't think that I die and then 2 seconds later a baby is born and my new spirit goes in the baby.
Can you be reincarnated as not a human?
I don't think so. I think
Okay.
like humans reincarnate into
As another human.
other humans.
Okay.
I know I've had lots of past lives.
I want to get into that. You
yeah.
say a lot of...
Well, wait. What do you think happens?
What do I think happens?
Yeah, what do you think happens?
I'm not sure. Religiously, I agree with you. I believe there's like a higher power, but I wouldn't strictly follow any set of religious beliefs, I guess, per se. I mean, theology as a whole interests me a lot, but I don't know how strictly I'd adhere to any specific one. But I personally think there is some sort of heaven and some sort of hell, but I also don't think people end up in hell. I mean, maybe unless they're like really, really bad, but I think for the most part, you'll find yourself in some sort of paradise type area after you die. I mean, there's a lot of stories of people dying and going to heaven or having these near death experiences where they interact with some form of higher being.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it's unreasonable to think there is one, but I don't believe in this reincarnation stuff. But okay, you said you've had multiple past lives.
Oh, absolutely.
And you've had past life regressions done. Have you only had one done or multiple
I
ones?
had a past life regression done. Do you know what that is?
Explain more. It's like
Okay.
a hypnosis type thing.
Yeah. So I was experiencing a lot of anxiety, right? I touched
Still
on that
are.
a little in the last one. That's better. It's better. So I decided that as one way of dealing with it, I would go see somebody about having a past life regression done to see perhaps figuring out the root of my anxiety.
Okay.
It's one way to go.
Sure.
All right.
For crazy
I don't think I had a traumatic experience in my childhood that was causing me to have anxiety. So I was like, maybe it was a past
another
life.
childhood.
It was another. Okay. Yes, that's exactly what it
technically.
is. Fine. Okay. So I went and it was like being put under hypnosis.
Yeah.
I was in a room and I laid down and she helped to relax me and, counted back until I was in a deep hypnosis. And then tried to address my anxiety by asking if what I had experienced in one of my past lives that may have led to me being anxious now. So she brings me back to all these different past lives. And
do you remember any of them other than, because you've explained one to me, but do you remember any others?
I don't personally in my conscious remember any of my past lives.
Well, yeah.
I have had lots of different past life readings done where they have mentioned other past lives that I've had. In that particular reading, when I had a past life regression done, she brings me back and, and she says, okay, look around, you're trying to figure out what time period is by what you're wearing, what it looks like where you are. So I was in, like a farm setting, and I was a little boy, and I was maybe like 5. I was wearing a little sailor suit,
like time setting,
kind of thing.
1800s, 1900s.
Yeah, ish, maybe earlier 1900s.
Okay.
And it was a farm, and I feel like I was in a well-to-do family, and then I was in a barn, and there was horses, and then somebody came out with a pitchfork, and it was my brother, and my brother killed me with a pitchfork. Okay.
Fun.
So, and then she went into who that person is in my life now, and we talked about that a little bit, but focused on that situation. And so it was my fear of anxiety coming from fear of death. Okay. Which totally true.
Yeah, okay.
And that can be a common thing for people.
Yeah.
So anytime I've had an anxiety attack in my life now,
you think you're about to die.
I feel like I'm about to die, and I have this fear of dying. So, like that one really bad one I had, and I could have sworn...
a lot of bad ones.
That one bad one I had before we moved to Abu Dhabi, and I thought I was going in anaphylactic shock, and I'm not even allergic to anything.
When you were driving us back from school or whatever?
Yes, driving back to school, and I had all the kids in the car, and then we went to the emergency room.
Yep.
Okay. And it's because I thought I was going in anaphylactic shock because I had a hive, and the hive was getting bigger, and I connect hives with going in anaphylactic shock, so I was sure I ate or touched something, and I was having an allergic reaction.
Even though you've never had a history of allergy.
Right, but it could happen. And then I was going in anaphylactic shock, and I was going to die.
Okay.
And that's what I was afraid of.
Sure.
Okay. So, or I've had these other ones where that's what it is. I thought I was going to have a heart attack, and I went to the ER because I was convinced I was having a heart attack, because when you have a bad anxiety attack, at least for me, it's like somebody sitting on my chest, and I can't breathe. Okay. So fear of death, fear of death, fear of death, fear of death.
Okay.
So we addressed that and then worked through that. And I don't have as much the fear of death anymore. And my anxiety attacks, for a really long time after that, for years, for the next 5 to 7 years after that, I didn't have any anxiety attacks. So for me, having that past life regression.
What about that one time in New York on the zip lines, or was that?
I wouldn't call that an anxiety attack.
It was like a panic attack.
That was like a momentary freak out.
Okay.
But not like a panic attack where, oh my God, I can't breathe and now I have to go to the hospital, and there's lots of levels of it, right? The panic attacks. Okay. I digress. So I had that past life regression, and she addressed that, and my anxiety was coming from my fear of death.
Okay, makes sense.
And then we worked through that, and we talked about that, and then I did not have anxiety issues for a long time because I think that worked for me.
Sure.
And then I have had other sessions, like healing sessions or readings that have been done where they've done past life readings on me. And in a lot of my past lives, I was a healer, some kind of healer. I've been a nun. I've been like a witch who had a lot of healing powers. I've been...
You were a witch.
Well, yeah, it was like during that time when I was like, witches weren't... I don't know if I was in Salem,
like
but
the Salem. Really?
No, like I was living out of town, and but people came to me for like healing things. But yeah, I didn't get burned at the stake. But it was when people weren't looked upon like me had those kind of powers. So in a lot of my different past lives, I've been some kind of a healer. And I've been told now that is some of my abilities
Your powers.
Now. Not powers makes it sound hokey, Alex.
Because it is.
So my point is that I think that your past lives play into your lives
Sure.
now. I think that when you die, I think it's really depressing to think like that's it and you
Yeah,
die.
that
So I think
sucks.
that you continue to live on, and I think that other beings continue to live on. I believe in ghosts, and I believe that there's
Yeah.
people that
Good. I want to get to that as well, though.
Okay,
Wait,
okay, okay.
Before,
So you
I
don't
just-
believe in past lives at all?
I wouldn't. The way you're describing it, like, I don't think I would believe in a past life. Like, I think
You need to have a past life.
I think I think my life now is like I was born and that's who I am, and then when you die, I believe in ghosts and then other types of those things, but I wouldn't say I was once some person and then I will become another person when I'm born
You don't
again.
think your
Like,
spirit continues on? So you think
know.
you die and you go to heaven, and like that's it?
something like that.
And there's like a bajillion people just floating around in heaven. What's heaven look like to you?
I don't know. It's a whole nother discussion. I don't know. Heaven looks different for everybody,
It's for whatever you want it to be.
more or less.
Do you picture
yeah, I
it
don't
like?
know.
Did you ever see the show The Good Place?
No, I've seen snippets.
You know, like the idea of it.
Yeah.
So it's not like beings floating in the clouds.
Yeah, no,
It's like your heaven is just
my heaven.
what made like. Does it look one way to you and a different way to somebody else?
Yeah,
So what do you think hell looks like?
it sucks. I don't know.
Do you picture like a devil and people getting tortured?
Yeah,
Do you think it's like
Lucifer, like Satan, like yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure what
I don't
believe
know
on that
either. But I'm curious. So you've had this past life that you can remember more vividly than any of these other ones, where you were this farm boy and you were murdered. Have you ever been curious to try to like look through archives of little boys who were murdered
But
at a
it's-
farm?
But
and,
the
like,
thing is, it's not like it was so pinned down that I
okay.
could say it happened in Connecticut in 1852. There was
Yeah,
no.
I
So what am I
guess,
going to look
okay.
up? Everything in the entire world?
that'd be cool though if you could like find the person you once were.
Yeah.
Assuming
Yes.
that's something you believe. Okay, so you believe in past lives,
Mm-hmm.
and you also believe in ghosts.
Absolutely.
So
And I know you do too.
yes, I know. Okay, but how does a ghost become a ghost or have this spirit that remains? Did they not become another life? Like, how do you think that
Yeah, maybe
works?
that's like they're in between. So, like, let's say you have a close friend or grandparents or whatever, somebody who passes on, and then you feel like they're around you, or you feel like whether you can see them or feel them or touch them or hear them or know their presence. I think that that's in your lifetime when you know somebody who's passed away and they can still kind of be around you sometimes. Right? Like that kind of
Yeah.
a ghost, okay? And then maybe eventually they will go on and have another life.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe not
Maybe.
everybody gets reincarnated.
Maybe some people go to hell.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe some people float around in like the ghost world for a little bit before they're reincarnated.
Just chilling.
I didn't
with the
overly
ghost.
analyze it. It's like I'm writing a thesis about reincarnation.
I know, it's just interesting. There's a lot of moving parts. It's like trying to fit it all together. But I mean,
So you used to be super skeptical
I
about
still am
ghosts.
skeptical.
No, about the ghost thing, right? Like you were really
I was
skeptical
out
until
of-
we went to Arizona.
out of any
right?
out of any paranormal type, otherworldly, unexplainable phenomena,
Uh-huh.
ghosts to me, even going into that experience, were the most reasonable and most probable thing to believe in. I mean, a lot of people believe in ghosts one way or another.
So because a lot of people believe in it, you believe in it?
No, I'm not saying that.
So why is
I'm
that
saying there's
the
been
thing?
there's been accounts of people throughout history interacting with ghosts or spirits, and there's been movies like The Exorcist and stuff like that. Whether they're
Okay,
bad,
there's been movies about all sorts of
There's-
stuff. It doesn't make it true.
No, I know, but I mean,
Bad analogy.
There are legitimate priests who like perform exorcisms.
That's not the same as ghosts.
I know, but it's
That's possession.
I get that, but
which I
there's
totally
still
believe in.
yeah, but there's still this belief of spirits, and I don't think you can just believe in like people being possessed by a demon and then not believe in ghosts or spirits. It's all kind of one,
Okay, I see the connection.
right? So, and there's also just been accounts of people who have interacted with loved ones who have passed away, or haunted houses, not in like the it's a spooky haunted house, but like genuinely haunted houses where shit has fallen off the wall, or there's been really weird, eerie feelings just being in the house. And animals too. There's dogs that'll bark at things, and animals have a really good perception, I guess, of spirits sometimes.
Right. So how could you not believe in that? That's
Well,
because
there's
you
a
feel
lot
like
of,
there's more logic to it.
there's more logic to it, but I was still skeptical because I was like, I haven't, like seen a ghost. Like, I don't.
Okay. So tell people about when we went to Arizona.
Before
Because that was so cool.
it was weird.
Oh, it was cool.
Okay, before I do that, have you? So you're what, like 40 something? Have you ever like experienced something with a ghost or a spirit or anything like that? Seen one, felt one? Done?
Okay, so I definitely haven't seen a ghost.
Yeah, I don't
Totally
think
open to that. I think it'd be awesome, but I have not legitimately seen a ghost. But felt them, yeah. Well, so when we went to Arizona, we went to Tombstone, which is right outside of Tucson, right? Phoenix.
I don't know.
Phoenix, Tucson. I can't remember.
Been to
Anyway.
Arizona one time.
And we did all these different things there. And one of the things we did was I forget what it was called, like a ghost walk or a
Twin Sisters
spirit,
ghost. I don't know.
something.
Ghost tour.
Like a ghost tour. Okay, so you go to this building, and there was maybe a dozen and a half of us, and they had different equipment that could hear things and see things and whatever. And the place used to be an old mortuary, I want to say. So they're walking us through, and they're talking about things, and it's like really late at night. And I could legitimately feel stuff. So I am very intuitive anyway, with my being an empath and feeling things and feeling emotions and all of that.
Yeah.
And I could be there and I could feel, I don't want to say like the room got colder. It was more like the emotion of sadness or the emotion of being scared or
That's
the
weird.
emotion.
I'd say the room got colder. Like, I'd say that's what I.
So I just felt like the feelings of the people that were probably there, and then we would find out that certain people were dead there, certain things happened, and then Alex and I volunteered at this one point where we went to the front of the room.
Did you volunteer for that?
Yeah, I was the first one to volunteer.
Maybe you were. I don't remember you doing that.
I was, because you were so focused on what you experienced, right? So, and you'd
yeah.
go to the room and you could see shadows of things against the light. And then Alex had like a ghost girlfriend who was like whispering in his ear and like brushing against you. You totally legitimately felt it, and you were like, what the hell?
There's more context to this. I think you kind of have to explain. Okay,
Explain
before this though,
yes,
you had me get like a tarot. I don't know if it's the T pronounced.
Tarot. It's a tarot card reading.
Tarot card reading, which I think is malarkey. Like, I just don't.
Obviously it's not malarkey.
Obviously, based on
people have been doing it for a bajillion years.
Okay, people have been doing a lot of things for a bajillion years. I don't know.
I think that there are definitely tarot card readings I've had in my lifetime, because I've had a lot, that are malarkey. That the person is telling you what you want to hear, or
that's how it works.
Or they're reading cues off of things that you're saying, and that's changing what it is they're saying.
That's how all of them works. Just some people are better than others.
No, there are legitimately psychic people who can do a tarot card reading and give you the truth can come out of those readings. Not all of them, but I legitimately feel that yes, some people can do it. Anyway, so I took him to have a tarot card reading, and I thought she was saying good stuff. You were skeptical, but there was like some stuff where you're like, okay, like she's a little. I don't remember all of it right now. But
I don't remember any of it because I was like, this is dumb. Like, this is.
Okay.
They're saying things that are generalizations that could fit a lot of people, and you're picking up on cues, and I get it. I get that's how it works, but you were so insistent on me getting
Fine.
it. I still think it's BS. Let's just say that.
Okay, and you can say that, and I can disagree with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you had that, and then we went and had the ghost thing that night.
Yeah, okay, but I feel like you gotta explain a little bit more about it.
Okay,
you're just kind of like, you had a ghost girlfriend and she rubbed you. Like, okay.
That sounds good.
Okay. You know what? Okay, so anyways.
Rubbed his arm. Like, I guess not everybody sees me. Rubbed his arm. That's what she did. Okay, go.
I don't know what okay.
Alexander.
But, so, yeah, we go to this room, and we all sit in like a semicircle type thing, and they have a computer and a monitor and something that picks up on these ghost readings. It's like the type of stuff you'd see in a lot of TV shows or movies where you just hear this like, and then it transmits some sort of words. And I'm still really skeptical on that, all the ghost equipment stuff. That seems really weird, and I don't know how they really interpret all of that. And then they had a flashlight that they had shining on the wall at first, and you could see it kind of move like left and right. very subtly, and that wasn't enough to like convince me of anything. I was just like, okay,
Still cool.
it's moving, it's cool, but
But like something could be moving.
it could be gimmicky,
right,
it could
right.
be, it's kind of weird still. And then they had this projection of green lights on the wall, and it's kind of like a grid. I would explain
A
it's a
bunch
grid.
of little green dots
Bunch
in
of
a grid.
green dots in a
sort
grid.
of.
So you
Yeah.
could see shadows without anybody standing up and like leaning up against the bar. Right, that's what you did. That's what I did at least. I kind of had my hand on the bar, and you're leaning up against it. And even without that, you could see some shadows on the green. And it was like, okay, maybe there's something there, maybe there's not. So I guess you did that. You volunteered to stand up. Some other people volunteered to stand up. And me being skeptical but open-minded was like, well,
Which I love that about you, that you are skeptical but open-minded.
you gotta be
In
both.
general, that's
you gotta
good.
be both,
You do,
right?
yeah.
So anyways, I decide, okay, when am I gonna like get a chance to experience something like this again, or just in general? Like this is kind of the accumulation of all of my beliefs, more or less. I can really verify something for myself here. Like this is my own little science experiment. So I volunteer. Like, okay, cool. So I go and I stand and I'm leaning up against this bar and I'm just looking straight, and everyone else was sitting behind me or standing behind me doing whatever, and I'm looking against this green wall, all the dots. And at first I was just whatever. I'm just standing there. I don't know what I necessarily felt first. I was there for what, maybe 10, 15 minutes?
Maybe.
I'm not quite sure.
I don't even know if it was that long.
Really?
Maybe
It felt
Yeah.
that long, at least that long. It definitely felt long. But anyways, I'm standing there, and these people, these two sisters or whatever, who can interpret all of this and have been doing these tours for 20, 25 years and have this connection to the spirit world and all that, are sort of guiding me through it, just kind of talking to these spirits, right? And at first I can see some movement, some shadows on this green wall, because, you know, I see the silhouette of me standing up against there. And then some places on the green would get like a little darker. And I could see if it was on my left and get a little darker, I'd feel like chills down my left arm. And I'm like, it's kind of creepy. All right, this is weird. At one point, and till the end of it, for the last like 5 to 10 minutes, the second half, my whole like lower body was just numb. Like my legs like were tingly to the point where it was just like numb. It was really weird. Not a fan of that. And then what also shook me was looking up at the ceiling and just seeing so many orbs, like hundreds of these orbs just on the ceiling, which is kind of emblematic of these spirits and these ghosts. And I was like, okay, is my brain playing tricks on me? Is the lighting weird? Like, what's going on here? But no, we're in a dark room. There's a green light against the wall. Kind of looked around me. That was it. So I'm looking up, and there's a whole bunch of these orbs. I'm like, that's really weird. So I look back against the screen wall, and there's these shadows moving, and my legs are numb, and I feel kind of like, I guess you could say, a presence on you. Don't be smug like that. But my body's like cold. I feel things on my arm, just like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just like a crawling sensation. Something was there. You couldn't see it. Something was there, touching my arms, back of my neck. That was really weird. Felt a presence on the back of my neck going down my back, and it was like the shivers, but nothing had been giving me the shivers. There was no circulation of air in the room or anything. So that was really weird. And then towards the end, talk about my ghost girlfriend that was, I guess, was touching me up, because I was super receptive to all this ghost stuff. No one else seemed to be, right? I don't know if I'm remembering that correctly, but I feel like I definitely had the most attention out of anyone else, because I'm connected to the spirit world and I've got a third eye.
We all have third eyes, but go on with your story.
We can talk about that after. So anyways, standing there, all this weird stuff's happening to me, and then I heard this whisper, and I was like, that's weird. I'm tripping. I didn't hear anything. Then I heard it a second time. It's just whisper the name Hannah. Really weird, really creepy. And I was like, I'm out. I'm like, this was fun, but you guys got what you came for. I'm gonna sit down now. You know, let's wrap this show up. And that was that. I don't know. It was really weird.
It was awesome.
It was awesome. Yeah, it was weird though, but it was enough that I was like, all right. It sounds weird explaining it all, but it was enough that convinced me. I was like, okay. I went into it as open-minded as I could be, but still skeptical, because, you know, I wanted something personally that would be concrete enough that I could say, all right, this is a thing for sure. And I mean, that's what I got out of it. I don't think it was some weird placebo effect or psychological effect because I spent a lot of time thinking about it. Because I was like, could my mind be playing tricks on me? Could this be some other weird phenomena going on? But no, I really tried to analyze it the best I could and just couldn't come up with enough explanations for anything.
I thought it was great. It was that moment for me of like, told you so. You know, because I've always believed. I've always believed. You know,
Well,
so but I thought you have to experience on your own.
I had this one experience because I haven't really told you about this, but this one time, this was a while ago, and I don't know how well I remember it, but it's just this really small memory I have. I was at Derek's house across the street.
Okay.
And it's probably like 6 or 7. And I was spending the night there, and we're chilling in his room. And then it was dark. It was like early in the morning dark or late at night dark, one of the two, right? And we went in the hallway, and like, I don't know if he had a blue nightlight in the hallway, which is why we saw some weird blue light. But we saw some weird blue light in the hallway and got really creeped out, and then just went back in his room and we're like
a light that was moving, or because if there was a blue nightlight, then you're gonna see a blue light.
Yeah, but not like a bright blue light on the wall. It was more like I wouldn't say aura, but it was evenly illuminated, so to speak, right? Because you'd see a nightlight and it'd be really bright here, and then it'd kind of phase out. But this was more of that phased out type look, but just kind of there in the hallway, and it was this blue light, and we both kind of saw it, and we were both really freaked out by it, and we were like,
did you say anything to his mom?
No, I don't think so.
Did you guys say anything to each other? Like, have you seen that before? What
yeah, I think this must have been after Larry passed away as well. I don't know. I don't know if that, I could be wrong. Or I could just be remembering it completely wrong.
That was the kid's stepdad.
Yeah, and I could have been remembering that completely wrong, but it's something that's
we need to totally ask him about that.
I don't know if he'll remember that at all, because like I said, it could just be a memory that didn't even happen that I'm just making up. Because that's the thing about memories, right? There have been studies done, and some people, even if you think you have a good memory, people can completely fabricate things, like 100% out of nowhere. Can think they had a memory of something, and then they'll like look back at a video and realize they were actually just like asleep for something that happened, but they have such vivid memories of so and so being there or something happening. So I don't know. That's something that's just kind of there in the back of my mind, but it's whatever. But the stuff in Arizona, that was weird. That was legit.
I know. How long have we been talking for? Because we just kept talking on our last one, and it was like 40 something minutes, and I didn't even know it.
We've been talking for like 25 something. We can wrap it up. I'm hungry.
Okay, I'm hungry too.
I just did this third eye stuff. I don't know what you mean by that.
Okay, here.
Oh no, really?
That's where your third eye is.
But what do you mean by everyone has it? So everyone could be psychic? Like everyone?
Yes.
You said it's like a muscle you have to train.
Yes, I think it's like a muscle you need to exercise. I think everybody has a chance to, the ability to be psychic. I think some people are born and seem to be tapped into that a little bit more, and other people I think need to work harder at it. But yeah.
That's kind of weird.
Well, that's just what I believe. I've always been super open-minded about all that stuff.
You've been a little too open-minded.
I mean, how can you be too open-minded?
You've not been too.
I think it's better to be more open-minded than to be closed-minded. I'm an open-minded person in general with a lot of things in life.
Good for you. Here's
right?
a star. Take a medal.
Thank you. I mean, you're kind of open-minded with some stuff.
Yeah, as much as I can be.
You can be skeptical and be open-minded, like you talked about with the Tucson thing.
Yes.
You were skeptical. You ever say a word and then you say it too many times and you feel like you can't say it right? Anyway, tangent. Okay, let's go eat some dinner.
Let's go eat some dinner.